Rain seems trivial. Went, got wet, went on. But rain is not weather. This is the life trigger button. Take away the rain, and the grass won't just dry out. It will change. Who survives, who sprouts, what rivers flow, and what kind of air you breathe in. Now I'll show you 10 functions and one effect that almost everyone misses. Nature does not live on average. She lives by impulses. Rain is the main impulse on land. He decides whether the water will go into the soil, run along the surface, or evaporate, and everything depends on it. Forest productivity, river life, and soil health. Go. 10 functions of rain in nature with detailed analysis. 1. Replenishes moisture in the soil. The basis of plant life, rain is a battery charge for plants. Without water, there is no nutrient transport, no normal photosynthesis, and no growth. And most importantly, it's not just the fact of rain that decides, but the intensity and duration, because it depends on how much water is actually absorbed. 2. Infiltration and recharge of groundwater. Some of the rain goes down into the ground, and it turns into groundwater. And groundwater then feeds springs and rivers, even when there has been no precipitation for a long time. 3. Surface runoff, feeding rivers, lakes, and reservoirs. Some of the water is not absorbed, but flows over the surface. This is something that quickly raises the level in streams and rivers. And that's how water from land gets to the ocean through the river network. 4. Launching the soil kitchen, microbes, decomposition, cycling. After the rain, the soil comes alive. Microbes decompose organic matter more actively. Nutrients are converted into accessible forms faster, and the ecosystem accelerates internal exchange. 5. A signal for seed germination. For many plants, rain is a permission to start, especially in arid regions. Seeds can wait until the humidity is sufficient. Precipitation directly affects the dynamics of annuals through water and germination signals. 6. Atmospheric nutrient delivery. Rain doesn't just bring water, it brings dissolved substances from the atmosphere. For example, nitrogen and phosphorus can enter aquatic ecosystems through atmospheric, including wet deposition, and affect productivity. 7. Air washing, removal of aerosols and dust. Rain reduces aerosol concentrations because wet scavenging works. This is one of the key mechanisms for removing particles from the atmosphere. 8. Soil erosion and transfer. Shapes the landscape. Rain can be a creator and a destroyer. Droplet impacts, water flows, runoff. All this moves soil particles, forms ravines, and washes away the fertile layer. In science, this is understood as a set of processes of water erosion. 9. Mineral transport and ecosystem nutrition downstream. When rain starts a drain, it transports dissolved substances and suspensions. This is logistics for rivers, floodplains, and deltas. Somewhere it's fertility, there's siltation somewhere, but it is always the movement of matter. 10. The effect on the fire regime through humidity. Rains during the fire season increase fuel moisture and may reduce the risk of fire spreading in the near future. At the same time, everything is more difficult in the long run. Vegetation is growing. There is more fuel. But the basic mechanism of rain to wetter to burns worse is confirmed by studies of fuel moisture and the role of soil moisture. One unexpected effect that is often overlooked: most people think rain is just water. And the hidden effect is this: rain is a transport from the atmosphere to ecosystems. It can bring in nutrients that feed nature, and at the same time bring something that nature does not need: pollution, excess nutrients, changing the balance in reservoirs. That is, rain is not only life. Rain is also a redistribution of chemistry. About rain 1. The smell of rain has a name: petrichor. It is associated with the substance geosmin, which is produced by soil microorganisms, and raindrops help to release it into the air. 2. Geosmin is a signal in the ecosystem, not just a smell for people. There are studies that show that odorous compounds like geosmin help the interactions of microbes and soil arthropods, for example, Collembolus. 3. Rain is one of the main regulators of infiltration. Not the soil decides everything, but a bundle. What kind of soil plus what kind of rain? Intensity, duration. 4. Rain can turn on rivers for a long time because the water that has gone into the ground later feeds the riverbeds through underground runoff. 5. Rain is the main mechanism of wet leaching of particles from the air, and this greatly affects the aerosol load and air quality. 6. Rain transports nitrogen and phosphorus from the atmosphere. This is a real contribution to the nutrition of reservoirs and coastal systems, sometimes significant for the environment. 7. In arid zones, rain is the trigger of the explosion of life. Many annuals and other organisms are tied to rare but strong moisture events. 8. Rain can destroy the soil by the impact of drops. This is a separate mechanism, splash erosion, when droplets dislodge particles and trigger flushing. 9. Rain affects fires not only through wet/dry conditions. Soil moisture and plant stress are strong predictors of fire behavior in research on the spread of fires. 10. The rain is the same. A myth. One rain is quiet and soaking in. The other is a downpour and drains away, increasing erosion. The effect on nature can be the opposite. Conclusion. Rain is not just water from the sky. These are charging the soil, replenishing groundwater, feeding rivers, starting seeds, delivering nutrients, and washing the air. He builds landscapes, and sometimes it breaks them. If it was useful, subscribe. Here we analyze the phenomena of nature in such a way that it becomes clear who and what really keeps the world in working order. And write in the comments, which surprised me more, that rain feeds the ocean and reservoirs with chemicals from the air, or that the smell of rain is a whole ecosystem story about microbes.